Hello guys and girls. So in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about the squat. The squat is one of the simplest movements visually to do, but one of the hardest to perform because of individual differences in our body shape. One of the main issues is lever length, so the length of the femur relative to the lower leg and the upper body. That can cause a lot of difficulty getting down into full depth on a squat. We must pass parallel, and the goal of this video is to show you how to do that if you are one of the people that doesn't naturally have a great squat. Now, the first thing we need to look at is where we are on the ground. The easiest way to determine your squat position is to jump up in the air and see where your feet land naturally, because that's going to be a fairly strong position. Okay, so for mine, my feet are about shoulder width apart and my toes are turned out slightly. From this position, I can squat quite nicely down into that hole. Now, some of you may need to adjust this position. Because you may have longer legs, you may need to take your legs out wider and squat down like so. Some of you may need to turn your feet out more to allow a greater hole through the hips to drop in. The key is to make sure we find a position that is comfortable for you and that allows you to pass parallel. There are going to be a few nuances to that. If you struggle to counterbalance yourself properly, i.e. you're leaning forwards on the squat a lot like this, this is going to be one of two reasons. Number one is that you don't have the flexibility in your ankles. This can be easily fixed. You can use a couple of books or something. I'm going to use plates for the sake of this. If I can't get depth and you can tell you're leaning forwards, place a couple of books or something like that, something you don't value too much, on the floor and step on them with your heels. Okay, with your heels elevated, it's going to allow you to step in and squat real far down without any problems at all. I'll show you that one from the side as well. If we elevate our heels like so, it allows me to squat in with a good upright back, and it's very, very important that we get that. So if you really struggle to get in deep without leaning forwards, try something like that. Really simple fix. The second option, if you don't have issues with your ankle mobility but still struggle to get in deep, simply put your arms out front. Okay, by sending a little bit of weight further forwards, it allows you to lean back slightly, shifts the center of gravity and allowing you into that squat. So a quick recap. Use your jump to determine your basic foot position. You can then adjust from there in order to make sure you get depth and you are comfortable. If you really struggle to get in deep without leaning forwards too much, then use some plates or books underneath your heels or counterbalance yourself with your hands. It's important that before we start training, you find the right squat for you, because then when we do more advanced squats through the workouts, having this baseline of knowledge is going to help you no end, keep you safe and improve your results.